Well, in this is a continuation of the previous video I uploaded. In this video, I'm going to discuss some kind of advanced topics on the transformations part of the ETL jobs, where I'll be using the two CSV files as my source, and then I'll be editing this AWS Glue transform script, and I'll be doing a joint on one of their column, and then I'll be creating a single Redshift comprise database table which having this data from both the CSV files. So to do these things, what I did, I have put my second CSV file. You know that the students was there, so I've just put this class CSV. So it's having this three columns: student name, class, and teachers. So my plan is that I put the same student name and the name as the same thing, so I'll be joining on this particular column. Okay, so if I go to the Glue console, few of the things I have removed. I have removed the crawlers. I have removed the jobs, ETL jobs, which earlier I used. Only the things I have not removed. I'll be reusing this Redshift database connection because it takes a long time for the testing. And also for Amazon Redshifts, I have removed the table we created. So for Glue, now I'll just straightly go to create the crawlers for my source. So add crawlers, crawler name to from S3. Okay, so here I'll be using this because there are two tables is there, so I'll be using this cloud by. Okay, next already I'm having this role frequency run on demand database test. Next, finish. So it's ready. Run crawler. So it will take maybe 2 minutes to run the crawler. So I'm pausing the video right now. I'll come back once this done. So we can see that my source crawler is already stopping. So that means if I'll go to the table, I can see that both the CSV file is now cam. Let me go through the file. Okay, now for this demo, I'm not going to create any crawler for my target because I'll be creating the table in a little bit different way. So let me show you what I'll do that. I'm going to create the table. I'm not going to create the details, the Redshift type. I'm going to create the table on the fly. So for that things, I'll directly go to the jobs. I'll directly go to the ETL jobs. I'll go to the add jobs, maybe the jobs name as a S3 to Redshift March table. I'll put the IAM role as this is IAM role. Okay, and then next. Okay, I'll choose these things, any of the CSV, because it doesn't matter, because we are going to transform, we are going to edit this transforms inbuilt scripts by the Glue. So I'll put as the class as a CSV and change schema. Now in the choose data target, this time I'll be doing this create tables in your data target. I'll be creating a table. So data stored by JDBC connections, we know the things. Our database name is TSDB. So this is the transformations, but I don't bother really, because I am going to use this. I'm going to edit this transformation rule using this Glue. So save job and edit scripts. This time what I'll do, I'm going to edit this script. So I'll just generate diagrams. Now what I'm going to do that, please note these things. Below this level, up below this one, below this, I'm going to delete this boilerplate generated by the AWS Glue, and then I am going to insert some template portions. Okay, first I'll show you that I'm going to delete some these boilerplates. So I'm going to delete until this my data sync, that is for my JDBC connection. So until this one I'm going to delete. That means starting from my data source and until this until this data sync. So this entire portions I'm going to delete. I'm going to delete the entire portions. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, this is the boilerplate portions. I don't require it here. Maybe I'll do it a little bit different way. Okay, delete. Now first, at the beginning, what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit my source. This AWS Glue is having some kind of very interesting buttons in the top. You can see here. So at first we are going to add our two source. This is the source button, and I'm going to add our two sources one by one. So first I'll choose this class CSV add. Well, here at first what I have to do, that I have to remove the placeholders. This is the placeholders. Let me put it as let me put it as my table name as a student, and then I also change these placeholders here, and there is something called transformation context here. Transformation context is a kind of a unique value, or we can put any value throughout this transformations, and this is required for the job state. So I'm just putting it as student. So you can put any name here. Okay, so here also transformation context I'm changing as my student. Okay, since I have already made as a student, let me change these things as a student. Okay, now I can add the class one CSV file. I'm changing the placeholders as say class. Also the transformation context, you can put any name in the transformation context, but it should be same for here. So I'm putting this, it is always the best practice. You can put in the name of the table or name of the variable. Okay, so I put the class. Okay, I have added the two tables, student, two CSV files, student and class. Well, now we are going to do a join transform to join these two the student and class. So I'll click the transforms and then join, create. Okay, I'll change the transformation to student underscore class, because this is going to be joined in between student and class. So the frame one, the first frame is going to be the student, and the frame two, it will be for class. And the keys, as you can see, student, for student it will be a name. You have to be very careful here. Is name, and for keys 2, that is for class, it is via student's name. Let me check again. It's a student's name. So this is the column I'm going to join. Frame 1 is student, frame 2 is class, keys is name and the student's name, and the transformation text I'll put as the same thing, student class. Okay, now my joint is also done. The next steps, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a select, though it is not a mandatory, but if I won't select, maybe there will be a duplication, because you know the class, the name and the student names are the same column and the same value. So that's why I'm going to choose the column I'm going to display in my target tables. So I'm going to put a select transform function. So it will be something select fields. Well, now I'm going to choose select fields from the transform. Select fields, create. Okay, changing the transformations as, okay, put it as a result, and then text as a result. This frame should be the joining frame, that is student class. Okay, the path should be the column name I should want in my target tables. So I've chosen the student's name, age, address, birthday, class, and teacher. Okay, transformation rules. Students, changing the transformation rules as well. Students class. Okay, now it's result. Okay, so this is the select fields. The last, if you remember the last fields, we have not deleted the last fields because we are going to use this last field. Only that you will change the transformation here. What we are going to change, we have to change the frame name. The frames we are going to connect, and we are going to output frame will be the result frame. So I'm just changing the frame name, because this is the result we are going to publish in our Redshift target. Rest of the things you can change your, this is something not needed. The DB table is class CSV. Is saying we can change the DB table as class students, class underscore students. Okay, we change the table as well. The database is, let me go through once. This is our first data source is student database. This is our Glue database is test, table name is student CSV. Okay, transformation is students. Second one is class, that is the class CSV. Database is test, table name is class CSV. Okay, now about joining, we joining this student and class, that is student class transformation. Can change, we can, okay. Then the first frame is student, frame 2 is class, then key one is the students, it's called name, and for class is for student's name. Transformation CTX is student class. Okay, now we are selecting is a result. The frame is the student class frame from the joining student class frame. The path is that the columns we want in our target one from the both the table, from both the CSV files source, and the last, not the least, this is something the data output. Hopefully it looks perfect. I'm also changed the table name. Okay, so I'm saving and run this job. Okay, so this will take at least 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll come back once it's done. It looks like we encountered some error. So let me see what is the error. So I'll go to the, I'll go to the error logs. I'll search error. Okay, saying that invalid syntax. Let me open. Okay, saying that in transformation CTX transformation context, there is some invalid syntax for class. So let me open the script, edit script. Well, syntax error looks like, you know, if I change it to the class, this is the red line. It looks like it's not taking this class as a thing. It's something maybe the internal to the Glue. So I'll change it to the class one. So I change here, I change the transformation text, as well as when I do the join, I do this class one student, and the frame is class one. So everything I change to class one. Now there is no no such blue mark is showing, so it should be good. I also changed that DB table here. The DB table I am changing to class CSV to class detail CSV. Okay, save, run the job. Now at last you can see that the process got succeeded. So if I check this to target Redshift to see the table status. Okay, this is my table, newly created table. Okay, show schema. This is the schema. This is having the student names, age, address, birthday, class, and teacher. Let's try to check the preview data. Yes. Yeah, we can, if you can see in the table level, there are lot of duplicate rows. This is one kind of flaw in the Redshift. It's because the Redshift not have any indexes. If I move it to the one slide, if you can see here, I have explained. So we can definitely create the indexes at the time of table creations, but physically they do not exist. That also means that constants are not enforced. So there are two ways we can mitigate with that. The one way is that after creation of the Redshift, you can find out all the duplicate rows and that store the distinct IDs in a temporary table. Then you can create another table with the same structures of the original table and load the distinct rows into that table, and then delete all the rows in the main table for the distinct IDs in the first steps, and then insert back the single rows into the main table, and then you can clean up the tables, the staging tables. There is the second way you can do that. There is something called from the Glue script, ETL scripts. So you have to write on post actions, and the post actions it will delete from the it will create a staging tables, and it will delete the duplicate rows from the staging tables. Then it will insert into the main table, and then it will drop the staging tables. So both the activities are almost same, so you have to choose whatever suits you. So we have done our steps and we have completed our demo. So in today's demo we have discussed how to update the ETL transformation scripts, and here we merge the two tables and put the data into a single tables. I also able to show you that what are the error logs, and how to see the error logs, and how to mitigate the error incurred during this load process. So I believe this is you got a good glimpse about the entire scenario. So thanks for watching. Bye.